Welcome back to Podcast and Chill. I'm Leo, hopefully still your favorite host.
And I'm Gwen. I'm just here to make sure Leo doesn't get too crazy.
Too late. I was born crazy. You bring the logic, I bring the fun. Balance.
If you say so.
Anyway, remember the community post we shared?
Of course, we asked everyone for podcast ideas, and the replies were amazing.
Yeah, and one topic showed up again and again. How to become the best version of yourself.
Great topic, but also a lot of pressure.
So today, we're keeping things simple. No big rules, no stress, just small steps to grow at your own pace.
That's the podcast and chill way.
So sit back, relax, and enjoy the episode. And don't forget, we made a free PDF with tips you can use.
Make sure to click the link in the description and, most importantly, make a copy so you can edit it yourself.
And if you find this episode helpful, hit that subscribe button and share it with someone who needs to hear this today. All right, Gwen. Today we're talking about a big topic: how to become the best version of yourself.
Yeah, and that's something people often talk about, but it's not as easy as it sounds, right?
No, it's not. A lot of people think it's just about setting goals, but there's a lot more to it.
True. And I think the first step is self-reflection, taking time to really understand yourself.
Wait, Gwen, let me pause you there for our listeners. Reflection. That's when you think deeply about something, right? Like looking back at your actions?
Exactly, Leo. Reflection is when you take time to think about what you've done, how you felt, and what you can learn from it. Like at the end of the day, you might reflect on what went well and what didn't.
Right. It's important to ask yourself questions like, am I living in a way that makes me happy?
Exactly. Or, what's stopping me from growing? Research from Harvard University shows that people who think about their actions often make better choices.
Let me give you a personal example. A few years ago, I was working at a job I hated. Every morning I'd wake up feeling miserable, but I kept telling myself, it's fine, I'm making money. It wasn't until I sat down and really reflected on what I wanted that I realized I was wasting my time.
That's brave, Leo. What did you do?
I asked myself, if I keep doing this for 5 more years, will I be happy? The answer was a clear no, so I started planning my exit and eventually moved into podcasting.
That's a great example of how reflection helps you take action. But here's the thing. A lot of people get stuck in the reflection phase. They think about change, they dream about it, but they never actually do anything.
You're absolutely right, Gwen. When I was in college, I spent months thinking about starting a YouTube channel. I researched cameras, lighting, editing software, everything, but I never actually filmed a single video.
Why not?
Fear, mostly. And fear, that's the feeling of being scared or worried about something, right?
Yes, exactly. Fear is that emotion you get when you're worried about failing or trying something new.
And that fear kept me stuck.
There is something called analysis paralysis. It means you think too much and cannot start.
Oh, I love this one.
It's when you overthink something so much that you can't make a decision.
That's exactly what happened to me.
That's a perfect example of how reflection without action leads nowhere. And that's when people get stuck and procrastinate.
Exactly. That's where setting goals comes in, right?
Yes, but goals need to be realistic. And Leo, for our listeners, a goal is something you want to achieve, right? Like a target you're aiming for?
Exactly, Gwen. A goal is what you want to accomplish. It could be learning English, getting healthier, or starting a new hobby.
Right. But too many people set goals that are way too big. And mindset, that's how you think about things, isn't it?
Yes. Mindset is how you think about things. If you have a positive mindset, you believe you can improve with effort.
Exactly. But what happens when they don't reach that big goal right away? That's when people give up.
Let me tell you what happened to my cousin. He set this crazy goal: lose 30 kilograms in 3 months. He went to the gym every day and ate very little. After 2 weeks, he was too tired to continue. When he didn't see quick results, he stopped completely. Now he says, "Working out just doesn't work for me."
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
When goals are too big and you fail, you feel less confident.
Self-doubt makes things very difficult. There's actually something psychologists call the what the hell effect.
Wait, really? That's the actual name?
Yes. It's when you break your goal once, like eating one cookie when you're on a diet, and then you think, well, I already messed up, so what the hell, I might as well eat the whole box.
Oh my God, I do that all the time.
Exactly.
So when my cousin skipped one gym day, he probably thought, "What the hell? I already failed," and then gave up completely.
Right. So instead of saying, I want to lose 30 kilograms, it's better to say, I want to walk for 20 minutes every day this week.
Exactly. I agree with you.
So that I think small habits are the key. Wait, let's explain that word, habits.
That's when you do something regularly, right?
Yes, Leo. A habit is something you do regularly, often without thinking about it. Like brushing your teeth every morning. That's a habit. And here's something cool. There's the 2-minute rule.
It says that any new habit should take less than 2 minutes to do when you start. For example, instead of read 30 pages every day, start with read 1 page.
Yes. You're right, Leo. Because the goal is to start the habit, not to read many pages. Once you show up consistently, you'll naturally do more.
That's brilliant. I learned this with learning Spanish. I told myself I'm going to be fluent in 6 months. I gave up after 3 weeks because it felt impossible.
That seems so hard at the beginning.
Yes, but then later I tried again, saying, I'll learn 5 new words every day and practice for 15 minutes. And it worked. After 6 months, I could have basic conversations.
That's a perfect example. And when you see progress, even small progress, it motivates you to keep going.
Progress. That's when you're moving forward or improving, right?
Exactly. Progress means you're getting better over time. It's about moving forward step by step.
But when your goals are too big, one small problem makes you stop. And then you tell yourself, see, I can't change. And that's the tough part. When you give up on a big goal, your confidence goes down.
Right. When your confidence is low, it's easy to think, maybe I can't do it. That is self-doubt. So let's talk about it. When you don't believe you're good enough, you won't even try.
For example, I struggled with this when I started this podcast. I kept thinking, who's going to listen to me? What if I fail? I realized that mistakes are part of the process. So I started small. I recorded a few episodes and didn't worry about perfection.
That's growth mindset in action. Actually, there's something called the spotlight effect.
What's that?
It's when you feel like everyone is watching you, but really, people are not looking at you that much.
Oh wow, yeah. I thought everyone would notice every mistake I made.
Exactly. Most people are thinking about their own problems, not judging you. Because if you believe you can't improve, you won't try. And if you don't try, you definitely won't improve.
And if you stop learning and growing, you don't just get stuck. It can also hurt your mental well-being.
All right, so let's summarize this first part. So far, we've talked about reflection, small goals, and how to handle self-doubt.
I love that. Progress over perfection.
Before we move on, we'd love to hear from you. What's one small goal you can set for yourself this week?
Share it in the comments below. And don't forget to download the free PDF in the description. It has worksheets to help you set realistic goals and track your progress. So, Gwen, we've talked about goals and reflection, but let's dive into something equally important: continuous learning.
Absolutely. The journey of becoming your best self doesn't end with setting goals. It's a lifelong process.
And here's the thing: if you stop learning, you're not just staying in place, you're actually falling behind. And growing, that's becoming better or developing over time, right?
Exactly, Leo. To grow means to improve or develop. Like a plant grows bigger, you can grow as a person by learning new things and challenging yourself.
Right. Stanford has a study that shows this. If you believe you can get better by trying, you have a higher chance of success. And that fixed mindset is what keeps people trapped.
I see this with my older brother all the time.
Oh, what happened?
He's been working the same job for 15 years. Every time I suggest he learn a new skill, he says, "I'm too old to learn new things." He's experiencing cognitive closure.
What's that?
It's when people want definite answers and dislike uncertainty.
So your brother has decided, I'm too old to learn, and he's closed his mind to any other possibilities.
Exactly. It's like he's locked himself in a mental box.
Right.
And my brother isn't happy. He complains about his job constantly, but he won't do anything to change it.
That's what being stuck looks like. When you're unhappy, but you believe you can't change. And change, that's making something different, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. Change means to make something different or to become different yourself.
Like changing your daily routine, or changing your attitude, or changing careers. And when you stop learning, your brain stops growing.
But the good news is learning doesn't have to be complicated.
Gwen, how do you keep learning all the time?
I try to learn something new every day, even if it's small. For example, last month I learned how to make sourdough bread. It took me several tries to get it right, but now I can make it whenever I want.
That's awesome! Learning keeps your brain active and gives you a sense of accomplishment. I've been learning to play guitar recently.
Really? How's that going?
It's hard, but every week I get a little better.
You know what's funny? There's something called the beginner's mind.
Oh, I've heard of this. It's a concept from Zen Buddhism, right?
Yes. It means when you learn with a beginner's mind, staying open and curious, everything becomes easier to understand.
Kids are great at this. They try things without worrying about looking stupid.
Exactly. But as adults, we lose that. We're afraid to be beginners again.
That's so true. When I started guitar, I was embarrassed to play in front of anyone.
Right? But if you can accept being a beginner, learning becomes fun again.
I love that. Gwen, that's getting new knowledge or skills, right?
Yes, Leo. To learn means to gain new information or abilities. You can learn by reading, watching videos, practicing, or even making mistakes.
Learning is how we grow. That's what learning does. It keeps you engaged with life. And here's the thing. If you cover yourself with people who aren't learning or growing, it becomes even harder to stay motivated.
Oh, absolutely. The people around you have a huge influence on your mindset.
Influence. That's when something or someone affects you, right?
Exactly, Leo. Influence is the effect someone or something has on you.
If your friends are positive and motivated, they influence you to be positive too, right?
There's actually something psychologists call social proof.
Ooh, what's that?
It's when we look at what other people are doing to decide what we should do. If everyone around you is lazy and unmotivated, you're more likely to be lazy too. But if everyone around you is working on goals, you'll feel motivated to do the same.
That makes so much sense. When I was trying to start this podcast, I had some friends who were super supportive, but I also had some who said things like, "Podcasting is too competitive. You'll never make it."
How did you handle that?
I had to distance myself from the negative voices. I started spending more time with people who encouraged me.
Because when you're surrounded by negativity, it's really hard to stay motivated. There's also something called emotional contagion.
That sounds serious.
It is. It's when emotions spread from person to person like a virus. If you hang out with someone who's always complaining and negative, you'll start feeling negative too. But if you spend time with positive, motivated people, their energy rubs off on you.
Oh wow, I've definitely experienced that. You get stuck not only because of your fears, but because people around you make those fears bigger.
Let me give you another example. I have a friend who wanted to start her own business. She had a great idea, but her partner kept saying, "It's too risky. What if you fail?"
And?
She didn't start the business. She stayed in a job she hated. Now, 5 years later, she's still unhappy and full of regret.
And that's the sad part. When you stay stuck, you miss chances, and later you think, "I wish I tried."
Right. So it's really important to think about who you're spending your time with.
Are they helping you grow, or are they holding you back?
So what can our listeners do if they realize they're surrounded by negative influences?
First, don't feel guilty about creating distance. It's okay to protect your energy and your goals.
Second, look for people who help you. You can join a group, take a class, or learn from someone with experience.
And third, be that positive influence for others. Support, that's when you help someone or encourage them, right?
Exactly, Leo. To support someone means to help them, encourage them, or stand by them. And actually, there's something called the helper's high.
Really?
Yes. Studies show this. When you help someone, your brain gives you a little happy boost. So supporting others doesn't just help them, it makes you feel better too.
That's amazing. So by being supportive, you're actually helping yourself grow too.
Exactly. It's a win-win.
All right, before we wrap up, let's hear from you. Who's someone in your life who supports your growth?
And if you don't have that person yet, what community or group could you join to find them? Share your thoughts in the comments below.
All right, everyone, we've talked about a lot today.
We really have, Leo. Let's put it all together. So, if you want to change, where do you start?
First, use reflection to understand yourself. But don't think too much. Take action.
Second, set small, realistic goals. Use the 2-minute rule. Start very small.
Third, don't worry about the spotlight effect. People aren't watching you as much as you think.
Fourth, keep learning with a beginner's mind. Try new things, even if you're not good at first.
And finally, choose positive people. They help you stay motivated.
Remember, if you give up, you lose confidence. If you stay stuck, you feel regret.
If you stop learning, your brain doesn't grow. But the good news, you can change.
Start today with one small step. Tell us in the comments, what's one small thing you'll do this week?
And download the free PDF in the description. It has worksheets and tips for you.
If this helped you, hit subscribe and share with a friend.
Thank you for listening to Podcast and Chill.
Remember, progress over perfection.
See you next time.
Bye!